Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video, and we are back with the configured series. I can't seem to focus on anything, so I'm hoping sitting reading will make me focus and then maybe I can study. So figured why not go ahead and get this started. So we're on chapter 17. I pace as morning sun faints my living room. I didn't sleep a wink after that announcement last night. Their thoughts and feelings swirling through me, churning with visions of going to war. My head throbs. At least the beach sim was vast and peaceful. I should have stayed in there last night. In the real world, I'm confined to this cramped apartment with nothing to do but imagine how I will die. Even the view does nothing for me now. Lena's not home again. There's no reason for her absence lately, but she doesn't answer the door after I tried knocking for the second time this morning, and Kyra wouldn't understand, so I can't message her. I'm utterly alone. The passing doesn't settle me down. The pacing doesn't settle me down, and I finally resign myself to my generally comfortable couch. This morning, it feels like stone, and there isn't a spot worth sitting on. I distract myself by moving into my bedroom to work on the required questions for the broadcast on my viewer. From the living room, my flex makes a muffled chime, and at the same time, a notification blinks in my AP. My heart quickens. It could be Meyer. I leap from the seat and follow the sound. Where is it? The chime stops just as I pull the device from inside the couch cushion. My hand trembles as I fumble to see Meyer's message. The screen's blank, and I enter my code for the Affinity app. My heart plummets into my stomach when I see that the message isn't from him. Affinity. I can I come to you with a heavy heart. Direction is advancing their plans more quickly than we anticipated, putting not only level 1 citizens in extreme danger, but all of Allure. Time is of the essence. Today at 8:15 a.m., we will hold our own announcement. It is imperative that you join us to discuss your futures and how Affinity aims to counteract direction plans. Below, you will find sim coordinates for the meeting location. If you do not have access to an EP, the gathering will be available via your Affinity app. Adriana Ruiz. Ruiz? I'm never going to get that name right. I copy the coordinates into my sim program. Still worry the EP. Still wearing the EP, I blink twice to engage. Who cares if I'm 30 minutes early? The meeting location has to be better than this reality. When my eyes adjust, I'm met with an amphitheater, row after row of stone benches curving around to form the meeting place. Below is an open grass space with a podium in the center. There's space for at least 1,000 people, it seems like, at first, since congregating like this could never be allowed in Allure. But when I think about it, I'm not sure 1,000 will be enough. 10 times that could be drafted from level 1, and I don't even want to think about the Guardian drone force. Even in the sim, the headache I have in real life worms its way through my temple. How will we be able to do anything against direction? Have more people, more weapons. After about 20 minutes, a few people have arrived and are scattered throughout the seats. I squint and lean toward those milling down below, trying to will away my negative thoughts. Do I know anyone? No, no one's familiar. From my EP, I see Lena has arrived. On the right somewhere, I spot her, and wave. You weren't home last night, I say when she comes too close. Sorry, she says. Had official business. I didn't press. It's okay. I watched the announcement with Meyer instead. You did? In a sim? Her lips form into a crooked smile. So that's where he was. The dulcet tone she uses makes me blush, and I'm not sure why. Heat burns up my neck, and I pull at my already high collar. But with thoughts of how Meyer left the last sim in a hurry, the feeling drops to my gut. Do you have any idea what Adriana's announcing? I ask. Nope, no clue. But with everything going on, I'm ready to hear it. More people blink into existence, and the amphitheater slowly fills. I go back to studying them, hoping to recognize anyone. But no one familiar shows up, checking out the faces. Yes, I did that too, Lena chuckles, in my first sim meeting. You won't find anyone unless you're aware a person is part of Affinity and they're on your contact list. The program keeps their avatars unrecognizable. What do you mean? See that guy? She points to a young man with curly blonde hair. He doesn't appear the same in real life. Who knows? Might be a 65-year-old woman. I chuckle nervously. A woman? Yeah, the build gatherings build a sense of camaraderie and unity. I don't know what that word is. But Affinity still won't risk exposing people. They program the sim to keep rude. To keep identities obscure. Lena, I ask, looking around at the crowd, do you really think we have a chance? She gives me a sad smile. I have to. Bounders, and citizens, members of Affinity. Our heads snap forward as Andrea Ruiz, melodious, melodious voice rings out into the amphitheater. She's a petite woman, close to Kyra's size, but older, perhaps in her 60s. Her boots are worn over a tan, form-fitting uniform, and she holds her hands behind her back. The jumbled background. Ugh. Noise of people's conversations dies out as everyone stares toward her figure in the middle of the arena at the podium. A projection of her face also fills the sky. Thank you for joining us on this somber occasion. It was always our hope Affinity could make changes in the direction initiative with little to no less of life. No loss of life. Without the use of violence. Unfortunately, this does not appear to be reality. Manning is increasingly becoming more dangerous and is threatening the lives of the citizens of Valor. It's time for us to choose a new direction. As she says this, the crowd, including Lena, goes wild. People stand, shouting, cheering, and pumping their fists in the air. The chosen phrase is ironic, and she knows it. Instead of standing, I sink back and grasp at the hollow developing in my stomach. This is so backward from anything I experience. Citizens aren't loud. They keep to themselves. They don't throw fits in the air. They keep them to their sides, fists in the air. I'm suddenly dizzy, and my stare locks onto the white knuckles of my interlaced fingers. From the right, people have begun chanting, choose a new direction, choose a new direction. Over and over, the arena fills with voices shouting in unison. Affinity has a war cry. I want to be excited along with everyone else, but with Meyer missing, all I can think about is his words. Lose your life and you might find it. I may actually die for a new direction, to become reality. All these people might have to die. If direction is blowing up their own people, There's no way they'll take mercy on traitors. A steady stream of air releases through my nose. Ruiz raises her hands and a hush falls over the arena. Whispers continue, but then fade as people sit again. Ruiz opens her mouth to speak, but then closes it and drops her chin. After a moment of silence, she breathes again, and she lifts her head. Her face is serious, but her soulful eyes project a sense of bravery. But seeing a new direction come to fruition will take sacrifice. The loss of life could be great, and this reality saddens me deeply. We have asked for assistance from New Philadelphia, but so far they have refused our request. It's a loss, but one we will handle. What's New Philadelphia? For the time being, that's in our head, by the way. For the time being, those of you in the outer bounds will meet with your team leaders for instructions. Those working undercover in the city should await further instruction. Affinity holds these truths to be undeniable. Everyone is created equal. They are entitled to certain intrinsic rights, including life, freedom, and the quest of happiness. With the dedication of each and every one of you, Allure can become a new direction. At the end of the speech, she smiles tightly and exits. The crowd, including Lena, jumps to their feet again in deafening applause. Echoes of the chanting, "Choose a new direction," fill the stadium again. I grab her shoulder and pull her towards me. Gotta go, I'm exhausted. I am tired, but it's mostly an excuse to get out of here. Lena nods and places her hand on top of mine to give it a squeeze. Get some sleep, she half yells in my ear. As she releases me, a pang of fear zips through me. The idea of losing all the people I love and care for in this mess becomes too much of a reality. Love. The thought of the word burns through me while I blink twice, hard. I blip out of the sim. When my eyes flicker to my desolated apartment, the sense of Lena's touch vibrates over my skin. I reach to where her hand was, trying to hold onto the feeling of security. It used to bring stress because enjoying the presence of others was wrong, weak. Even missing my twin was wrong. I was always terrified of being seen as emotional. Now, love and friendship is the only thing that's going to make the risk I'm taking worthwhile. I log into the Affinity account from my handheld to check my instructions. Nothing new has been added other than Andrea's announcement. There's no messages from Meyer either. What if I could find him? He said he can track me. Maybe I can figure out how that works. My stomach quivers as I secure my desktop system from the network, then link my Flex and enter the Affinity app through my desktop system. Only a few minutes later, and I find a path into the program. No signal, no signs they know I'm in here yet. It's not long before I'm searching for Meyer's information, but there's too much code to sort through quickly. I blink twice to activate my EP. It should make it easier to navigate, like VR at work. But instead, it's not like Gentech's VR coding at all. The space around me goes white, breathtaking. The simple numbers and patterns of the code have morphed into something like the stars in the sky, close enough to reach out and touch. My whole body vibrates with energy as I tap the code. Despite an annoyingly dizziness, a thrill starts to run through me. I could get lost in this. No, this whole process needs to be quick. Find Meyer and leave before they realize I've hacked in. I use my handheld in the sim to find Meyer Quinn, and when it does, I'm caught in the whirlwind of search. Every part of me breaks apart and resembles whisking me to his information. Reassemble, sorry. A series of white storage containers presents along with a section labeled recordings. I touch it and up pops a series of files identified by date. I pull one and activate it. Meyer's voice sounds around me, then a hologram display that he sees with his EP when it activates. I wave away the vid, feeling guilty for seeing it. This is something private, although it would be fun to watch one of the Sims we did together. Focus outline. Track Meyer Quinn, I say, hoping the program will respond to my voice commands. To my surprise, a file presents itself, and I touch it. Download program. My vision fills with code. Download complete. The program appears to work. On the right side of my vision, a small icon sits with his name underneath. To find him, I call up the map to the city. Meyer Quinn found. Blinks. Then switches to an aerial view of Allure, marking the sectors within levels 1, 2, and 3. The tracker locks onto him in level 1, Sector D. Vitals and all. Just like he could see on me. He's alive. Meyer's alive. The excitement burns along the back of my ears, but with the need to get out of the program, I blink twice. I find myself sitting at my chair in much less interesting surroundings. Meyer, can you talk? I message. Nothing comes back. I wait for something, anything, but eventually my need for rest overrides my frustration, worry, and excitement. So, without changing clothes, I drag myself to bed for a nap. The map still shows in my EP, and I blink twice to turn it off. A ghost of the image remains. If Meyer doesn't message back by tomorrow, I'm going out to find him. The thoughts swirl away as a wave of exhaustion hits, forcing me into a desperate needed sleep. That's the end of chapter 17, and I got a wiggly baby behind me, so I'll go take care of the baby before I go further. We are now on chapter 18. My eyes drifted open to a blurry room and the vibration of my handheld on the corner of the bed. After a second, I blink to clear the hazy coating on my eyes and roll over to pat for the device. By the time I find it, the buzzing has stopped. One spouse pairing message added by A. Barton. Scenes from the last few days rush in. The direction announcement, the infinity meeting, my instructions, Meyer. I swipe away the message and access my Infinity account instead to check for my new mission. My heart pounds while selecting the link. Infinity thanks you for your service. At this time, you are asked to continue on track with your original mission. You may review these instructions at this link. Thank you. That's it. Nothing new. I know my original mission, training, link my flex to retrieve information at Gentech, and continue contact with Aaron Barton as a potential parent. The spouse pairing message. I grit my teeth and still don't look. I check 2 more times for anything from Meyer, but nothing new. Then I stare at the screen in hopes something will happen. It doesn't. I log off and resign myself into the account. One spouse pairing message added by A. Barton. I hover my finger over the link and it repels like the wrong side of a magnet. This is it. Either Aaron accepts my invitation and I can continue my mission, or he didn't, and I messed everything up. Eventually, I tapped the message. Evelyn, I apologize for the delay in getting back to you. Work was busy after we met. And you were right. Our first meeting was awkward. Awkward is an understatement. I got into a fight with him in public. I have time today at 5 p.m. for a few minutes if you are free. If not, we can reschedule. Aaron Burton. His image adjusts adjacent to the words particularly, I don't know, fills the screen. Gold hair, tan skin. I'd forgotten how good looking he was. I squirmed in my seat, and I activated his tracker again in the EP. His icon blinks on in my vision, still in Sector D, and he's moving now. My chest clenches at not knowing what he's doing or if he's safe. But Meyer is in my assignment right now. Aaron is. He's probably doing what he's supposed to be doing, and it's about time I do the same. In Directions World, emotions still get me in trouble. Nothing has changed, and the only way it will is by following instructions, not getting sidetracked in silly fantasies. And he told me I wouldn't hear from him for a while. I flick off the EP. The time. I look to see that it's 12:28 p.m. on Sunday. What happened this morning, or for that matter, Saturday? If it weren't for the message buzzing, who knows how long I would have slept. After a couple of weeks of horrific sleep, I guess my nanos decided more was necessary. Yes, 5 p.m. works. But not at the cafe. Meyer mentioned they're not safe. Let's meet at the park. West side, on the benches. I hit send. The bench at the park cools my legs and fingers, which graze the round stone edges. After breakfast, I showered and ran Sims for the rest of the day. When I finished, I still had close to an hour before the meeting with Aaron. So, to get my mind off fire again, I left early. My goodness. The park is the same as the other times I've come, and a few citizens take advantage of the beauty here through exercise or simply working outdoors. It's the only area in the city to do so comfortably. A woman runs along the path and disappears around the bend of trees. In the distance, a man sits leaning on a tree and works on a handheld. Then there's me, waiting on a bench for a spouse pairing meeting I don't want, ridiculously consumed with another boy I can't have. How is it we can go on concerning ourselves with trite problems at this very moment? Level 1 citizens are being rounded up to be made into an army under the guise of duty. I have nothing better to do than wait for a meeting with Aaron while the rest of Affinity is readying for a revolution. I grip the edge of the bench, visualizing myself yelling, "Don't you want better than this? What about the people in level 1 drafted for a war that they don't understand?" I blink and I'm back on the bench. I never moved. The man under the tree sits, staring toward his flex device. Evelyn. I jump at the sound of my name. What? I say too loudly. Are you all right? Aaron sits by me on the bench, blonde hair neatly combed, his hands clenched together on his lap, so tightly it's as if he's keeping them from escaping. Oh, Aaron, I'm sorry. I have a lot on my mind. My second impression is chalking up to be as good as my first. Crazy girl. Don't we all? He gives me a sympathetic smile. So many changes are going on right now. Sin has upped its drone production, and I've been assigned extra work from home. That's why I couldn't meet up until now. No way can I tell Aaron my true source of stress. They haven't done that at Gen Tech yet. Although I'm sure I have my turn on the remote infosec team and will pull a few all-nighters. A nervous laugh escapes me, as if I'm not used to all-nighters. Do you think Syncor bumped production due to the announcement? Possibly. A few days ago on lunch break, Director Manning and a few of the level representatives came through. Didn't think much it about it until last night. I saw him in Gen Tech too, I say. In InfoSec? No, I was working on a data security in the lab. He came in and then went into a secret area. Aaron leans in, gives me a curious look. Secret? A lump forms in my throat. I've said too much. Then again, maybe intriguing him is a good way to keep him interested. And some reason I do trust him. I don't know if it's really secret. I try to blow it off a bit, but they were the only people who went in the 2 days I was in there. They smile softly. He smiles softly, showing off his dimple. So, why didn't you delete me from your spouse pairing candidates? I ask, changing the subject. Aaron tips his head. Why, what do you mean? The meeting was horrible, and you know it. I scratch at the bumpy texture of the bench to work out some of the fidgety feelings I have inside. Oh, it wasn't all bad, he says, his blue eyes gleaming. You didn't seem to mind my sense of humor. Why would I mind that? Why do you even have to ask? Aaron chuckles slightly. My parents always tried to make me tone down and focus. Then I met with other spouse pairings possibilities while they didn't run out on me. He cocks his head toward me, and he flushes my face. By the way, they stared out the window or kept their mouth full of food so they didn't need to talk. I knew there wouldn't be a second meeting. I'm not sure, but it wasn't my humor that had you running. I don't know what to say to that. So I keep my mouth shut. Aaron seems like a trustworthy person, but I don't want to reveal too much too soon. I've already said enough. Well, I went ahead and kept your profile active just in case, but then you contacted me. I thought about it for a while, and here we are. Aaron confuses me. While growing up, I never considered my pairings would be more than a contract, so I've resisted the idea of even taking one. But he has good qualities. An agreement with him would guarantee security. My life has so little of that right now. So he looks down on the level ones. I have to. He could change. Lose your life, and you might find it. Meyer's words push away the thoughts. A forced existence would never work, even if Aaron was perfect. To live under direction suppression with him could never be right. I'd sacrifice the freedom and rights of others to maintain the sense of false happiness for myself. Aaron is an assignment, nothing else. I don't even know if Affinity would allow a pairing with him yet. I steel myself and decide to offer up something personal. If it makes sense in our conversation, we obviously have some sort of connection here. Let's see if I can work it. Sorry about running out on you. I sigh. As I said, a lot's on my mind. Gen check, then the move into my apartment, and the responsibilities that go along with being a citizen have been overwhelming. I really shouldn't have started browsing my spouse pairings until I got settled. Aaron averts his blue eyes from mine, and I insulted level ones, and you have a twin brother there. Had. Blood begins to rush through my hands, and I collapse my fingers together nervously. Should I tell him this? He died, and although I'm not supposed to feel anything about it, I do. I miss him terribly. I'm sorry, he says, but maybe finding someone to share those responsibilities and burdens with could make life easier. Really? I tell Aaron something that's against the direction initiative, and he doesn't berate me for it. I always thought it was only me who was dying inside for the want of connection, but maybe I'd found someone else with those same feelings. And if he does, maybe a lot more people do too. Aaron's a level 2 citizen with a high ranking job, more credits than he needs, and perfect health. But that's not enough for him. Why do Alorians even allow the direction initiative to continue? Duty, patrician, is patriotism, I think. The illusion that direction understands our needs better. We have everything and still nothing, I mumble. He leans in slightly. Hmm? I wave my hand in his direction. Nothing. Well, Aaron says as he glances at his handheld on his wrist. Sorry, but I don't have long. I have to get back to my work at home. I have a bunch of things to take care of today, too, I say, but really, I don't want to go to him. I don't want him to go. Having him near is somehow comforting. Somehow a comfort. He stays seated and shakes his head, stalling. Do you mind doing me a favor? Sure. What? Can you fill out the rest of the information in your pairing account and give me access? He gives a shy smile and looks away. Direction fills in the stats and figures of why we're an acceptable pairing, the important stuff, but none of our likes and dislikes or experiences. Hearing those words fills me with an energy I never expected. Aaron is interested in me. Sure, I agree, if you'll do the same. At that, Aaron stands and then turns. His lips form into a half smile, and he gives me a wink. I can't help smiling back, but then I turn and focus on the sidewalk. No one has ever winked at me. I look up, wave goodbye, and watch until he disappears into level 2. When he's out of sight, I pull my feet onto the bench seat. It wouldn't be dreadful to make a contact with him. Maybe he's sympathetic to Affinity's goals. I'd gain his trust and we'd work together. It's the perfect scenario, and it's something I can have, unlike Meyer, who's not even a citizen. A muffled boom breaks my thoughts and makes me jump. Looking around, I see nothing but a tranquil park and scattered citizens minding their own business. A few of them are looking toward the sound. I check for Aaron, but he's gone. The boom comes again from the direction of level 1. An explosion. What if Bess is hurt? The thought surprises me, as I never imagined I might even care for her. I could message her to make sure she's safe. I pull out my flex, but pause before entering anything. Affinity has instructed me not to contact her, as it would be out of place and might draw attention. My fingers tremble over the screen, and the device drops and smacks against the sidewalk. My vision illuminates with information in my AEP. Explosion, level 1, sector B. Multiple casualties. Affinity not involved. Do not engage. I spin and stare toward level 1 again. What sector is Bess in? B or C? I can't remember. On auto, I grab my handheld from the ground and enter my Affinity passcode. Activating the app. The same news in my EP repeats on the screen, telling me to go home. Find Meyer Quinn. I enter on my flex. The view switches to an overhead map of level 1. My stomach leaps. His avatar is on the move, running straight into Sector B. Creeping the streets of level 1, Sector C, I keep my eye to the ground. The guards seemed occupied, and somehow I was able to slip in unnoticed. Please remain calm and continue to your assigned draft dispatch center. An impassive, disembodied voice coming from the blank media screen announces Manning's orders from last night every few minutes. Why am I here? I can't do anything for Meyer, but I also can't go home and wait to find out what's going on. The EP guides me through the streets towards his location. Finally, his avatar stops, and it's a good thing, since my running would only cause more attention. On the other side of the street, level 1 citizens, some in pairs or families, wait their turn for required check ins at the block's drafted center. A few young children are crying, and their mothers or fathers work to soothe them. At the front of the line, an SI checks in individual citizens. I try not to stare, but my eyes, as if they have a mind of their own, keep falling back toward them. A human guardian glares toward one family with a crying child. He moves toward the couple and says something, and the mother with a white blonde too long hair clinches her son, whose hair color matches her own, to her body and places her hand over his mouth, stifling his cries. To distract me further, the EP continues to bring up new information of the route to take to get to Meyer and the locations of guardians and human force. The jitters in my core have morphed into chattering teeth. You can't do anything about the draft right now. Control yourself. I fill my lungs with air, hold it in, and then let it out while counting. Eventually, my teeth stop chattering, but the relentlessness in my stomach returns. No, you can't draft both of us. A woman screeches behind. What will happen to my son? When I turn, I see the same mother with the wailing child, cursing at the uncaring SI. A man, probably her spouse, steps in toward her, but she shoves him back. Several human guardians take place around the line of citizens and raise their weapons. The line seems to shrink as the people press together. Engagement odds of success 0% flashes in my AP. Do not engage. Another guardian steps forward and seizes the child from the arms of his shrinking mother. While the SI lifts a scanning device, she stops yelling or doing anything at all. The woman is frozen, mouth hanging open. Because a woman distraught by direction separating her from her child is a real danger to all of us. The guard who took the child disappears into a nearby building while another SI emerges and retrieves the frozen woman, its metal tentacles clenching her body like a package. The man she was with follows them willingly into another building. Please remain calm and continue to your assigned dispatch center. The voice echoes through the sector. Across the street, a dark-haired woman hugging herself joins the line. Bess. I exhale. She's safe and not in B. Immediately, a rush of relief floods over me. What will they do with her? Will she be forced into the building too? Be taken away to become a soldier? I can't answer any of these questions, but I'm relieved she's still unharmed. She doesn't see me, so I hustle along the EP guided path and push away any feelings I have for her. At the next block, the EP alerts me I've entered Sector B. Nothing is out of the ordinary, at least not today. Some citizens wait in the draft check line, while others return home. Then I round the corner. The lobby to an apartment building is blown to bits, and people lie on the ground, not moving. This is the blast I heard. My legs weaken, and I grasp for a wall to steady myself. Why is no one helping or doing anything? The area where they lie is blocked off by drones, while down the road, a dispatch station checks in more level 1s. It's a reminder. Do what you're told, and this will be you. What happened? I whisper as a young woman passes. I didn't intend to speak to her, but still, she stops and leans in. The Affinity Rebels bombed the building over there. Then they tried to rush the DPF. Guardians surrounded them immediately, got them right in time. Are they dead? I think so, she mutters and hurries away. I thought Affinity wasn't involved. I check the people on the ground again and hug myself tighter. More lies from direction. Meyer Quinn, 1 block north. Please remain calm and continue to your assigned dispatch center. The announcer's voice has the opposite effect in it desires, and a twinge zips through my left temple. After one more block, I turn a corner. Meyer. Meyer Quinn, 585 feet ahead. Continue course. Walking citizens block my view, but the EP continues to feed me his location. My breath quickens as I dodge citizens, and then his dark hair comes into view through the glass of an apartment building. I slow and approach the sliding doors. Someone else is with him. Lena, why is she here? She sees me, then turns to him, mouthing my name. His head shoots up and he looks in my direction, then sprints toward the door, exiting through them, Lena on his tail. Meyer stops in front of me, scowling. Adeline, you need to leave. I know I shouldn't be here, but it made sense, and level 2. Shame fills me, and I drop my chin. I wanted to help. I was worried. The veins in his neck pulse, and he grabs my arm. He starts to speak, but instead the disembodied voice fills the air. Attention, Level 1, Sector B is now under lockdown. Whoops. And that is the end of Chapter 18, and I'm going to go ahead and end this reading session. We are doing pretty good. We will be back for 19 and 20 in the next reading vlog. Yeah, if you enjoyed it, please put a like on the video. It is very helpful. Please share if you want to share this story with other people. I'm enjoying reading it, and hopefully I can get to the second book soon. But thank you for watching, and make sure to put some sugar on that like button, comment down below anything you would like to see, and I will see y'all in the next one. Thank you.